given the fact that we've seen this transition to an awareness of how specific and then how valuable digital marketing can be, what do you think has changed in the minds of the senior executives, the CEOs and the CFOs, relative to how they perceive marketing, and have their attitudes changed towards digital marketing?
So when we talk to executives, CMOs, CEOs, they always complain that there's a lot of waste in marketing, and they believe, that waste hasn't really gone down over the years, because a lot of channels, their team can't prove that there's a ROI. So what we're seeing is a big shift, especially in this economic climate, in which we're seeing companies double down on digital, especially in the B2B sector, but they're cutting back on a lot of other forms of advertising that aren't as well trackable. Because if the economy is good or bad, if you can spend $1 and make $2, you don't really care. You're going to spend as much as you can, because even a bad economy, if you stop spending, you actually start losing money, right? But we're seeing them shift a lot of dollars away from quote unquote branded campaigns that don't necessarily drive a ROI, sponsoring an arena or a baseball team or a football team or television commercials on Bloomberg and CNBC. And we're starting to see the dollar shift more towards trackable digital ads and campaigns, even if it's organic, in which you spend $1 and you can quickly see, did it only make you 50 cents? Did it make you $2? Did it make you $3? So then that way they can fine tune their marketing and their spend.
Yeah, and we observed this as well in the last couple of years with the pandemic, where a lot of the offline marketing spend, by virtue of the lockdowns and constraints on travel, were just shut down altogether. And one of the things we observed, I don't know if you've seen this, is the CEOs and the CFOs, and to some degree the CMOs, who we talked to, really looked at that period of time as an awakening for them, realizing, well, they were still able to achieve their objectives, maybe even better, with digital channels being the only channels they had available to them, and started really questioning, should we even go back, even if we're allowed to, and post-pandemic and travel's available, should we even go back to those, given how measurable, as you just said, and how valuable these other channels are?
Yeah, we're seeing similar things. And funny enough, what we tell corporations is, when people zig, you zag. And we saw a lot of companies cut back on traditional spend less in total because they're already spending on digital. And sure, digital prices keep going up, year over year, but they're generating a much better ROI. And what we always tell people is, if traditional channels, if people stop using them as much from an advertising standpoint, but they become much more affordable, let's say 1/3 the cost, and they start becoming ROI positive, spend as much as you can. And I look at everything as, if it can be trackable and you can generate a positive ROI, do it. Doesn't matter what the channel is.